A mid-Missouri gun shop owner is under fire from some customers after they claim they were ripped off.
Yeah, some say they paid for firearms that they never received and that they never got their money back after months of trying to get a hold of the owner. Others say they were only partially refunded.
In a special report tonight, ABC 17's Jillian Fertig tracks down the owner, Zach Keene, to get some answers. And Jillian, Keene is actually a former Boone County Sheriff's deputy.
He is. Since I've started working on this story, I've heard from more than a dozen people by phone and email. I've even had calls in the last several hours from frustrated customers. Over the last week, I've talked with some of these customers who happen to be law enforcement officers, firefighters, and military veterans. They claim Keene is not delivering what they paid for.
I paid $900 directly out of my debit. From there, we went to stall tactics. He stalled at every turn. It was on back order for several months. Then it went to, I'm having surgery. It's in stock, I'm having surgery. Then it went to, I've shipped it, now it's lost. UPS lost it. It was never Zach's fault, it was always somebody else's.
Aaron Wood purchased a rifle from ZK Guns in January. After months of calling and emailing, Wood says he got tired of the excuses from owner Zach Keene and drove all the way to the store in Columbia from his home in Lake Ozark.
I had to go twice. First time he gave me a false receipt, printed up a piece of paper that says, I refunded your card, here's how much I refunded, and it never went into my bank.
Wood says he then threatened legal action, and Keene told him to come back to the store to get a cashier's check.
So I went down to the bank and gave them the cashier's check, and at first he was not going to cash it, but then he saw it was through Zach, and I made a point that says, look, I've received bad stuff from him already, and he said, oh, Zach, it's Zach again.
Other customers have a similar story, including several law enforcement officers.
I was just looking up gun stores to buy my Glock 22 for my duty weapon, and I came across ZK Guns, so I went there.
Brian Sollers is a Howard County deputy who placed an order with ZK Guns last November. Like Wood, Sollers got tired of the excuses after 3 months and went to talk to Zach in person.
So I went in, asked him for my money, and he gave me my money back. And when I looked at my receipt after I got out of there, I noticed there was a 10% fee that he kept out.
While Wood and Sollers were eventually able to get their money back, or at least part of it, others have not been so lucky. A police officer in Howell County tells me he's out money for a knife he ordered from Zach online. And there are numerous complaints online that span across the country from people who claim they've been ripped off by Keene. In Waynesville, North Carolina, Houston, Texas, and San Ramon, California. Determined to get some answers, I called ZK Guns several times.
Thank you for calling ZK Guns, all your shooting needs.
But nobody at the store ever answered. So I went to the store to see if Keene was there. Are you Zach Keene?
I am.
Hi, I'm Jillian with ABC 17.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Hey, I was calling a couple times. I had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
There's some people trying to get a hold of you that have paid you for some things, and they're having some trouble getting a hold of you.
Well, why are you doing a story on it?
Because some people are upset that they can't get a hold of you. After going to the back of the store to call his attorney friend, Keene allowed the cameras to come inside.
Okay, so the reason I'm here, like I said, there's some people that are having trouble getting a hold of you. They claim they've paid you for a firearm or an accessory. They didn't get what they ordered, and they haven't gotten their money back, some of them.
I asked him first about the officer in Howell County who had not received any of his money back.
Trevor Spencer, he's a police officer. He ordered from you in November, and it's July. He hasn't received his knife. He hasn't received his money, and he can't get a hold of you.
Okay. Order was placed online. I don't really control my online ordering. Only thing that's on that site is my name. My distributors that I program into it, the computer picks the distributor that the actual order goes to.
Next, I asked him about Aaron Wood.
It was a special deal on the ordering, and they just, one thing or another, it just didn't get here in time for him.
I asked Keene why no one can seem to get a hold of him.
My communication has been lacking lately. That's one thing we're going to focus more on. Some of the people that help me out here at the store don't answer the phone like they're supposed to.
So why did it take me coming here for you to look into this? I mean, these people have been calling and emailing you for months.
I mean, some of them haven't been doing it for months, but, we had 2 people that have slipped through the cracks, and I apologize, and I will get them taken care of.
But it appears to be more than 2 people, according to reviews online and phone calls I've received.
So would you say then the reviews online of you know, lack of communication and people not getting money, like, is that accurate?
No, because some people say they haven't got money and they actually have.
After my conversation with Zach, I did some digging into his background. He used to have a ZK Guns shop in Liberal, Kansas that closed years ago. According to court documents, Keen's wages were garnished to pay off a judgment filed last year against him and ZK Guns. That case was settled back in May. Wood says although he's one of the lucky ones who got his money back, he wants Zach out of the firearms business.
I want to get this out because other gun members, I think we are a close community that, you know, if we find a bad apple, we want him out. He's licensed by the federal government to do his job, and if he's trying to scam us, then it should be fairly easy to get him out.
Solar says he's also concerned.
I'm definitely disappointed. I kind of expected more of him and of a gun shop in general. I mean, someone that sells firearms should be somewhat honest.
I contacted ATF to find out the status of Keen's FFL license. It is current. I also reached out to the Better Business Bureau. They tell me they've had 6 complaints filed against Keen.
Jillian, thank you. If you believe you've been scammed, you're urged to call the Missouri Attorney General's office as well as ATF headquarters in Kansas City. Those numbers are posted on our website at abc17news.com.